All right, I had a lot of fun in the previous episode looking at text. So why not do it again, right? Yeah, I wonder if in stencil we could get something interesting happening. I wonder if that will affect our selection abilities. I think with the selection, I noticed it doesn't really doesn't always work too well. Because that is actually, if you look at it, it's actually broken apart. So we should be able to do a selection quite easily on that. Let's try it. Interestingly, you get interesting selections for this. We just see what happens. Sometimes it's easy just to change the color rather than anything else. So yeah, it kind of does depend on like what your font is. I think this is a situation where it actually might be useful to have it in add to selection mode. Let me just try that one. Oh, that's interesting. I can select basically the whole bevel there. But once you go into that, so I would have to do basically a selection in here. It doesn't let you do it within that menu there. Okay. I would like to get the actual interior color different, right? That may be difficult there. But I guess it's just again it's based on just being, but that is broken. It's almost like you should just probably just break everything in the thing. And that way I might actually it's easier just to just say that bit is. I think what I'm realizing, the stuff in the scene is kind of different from, like, if I just wanted to change these sections here, I think you can do it, but you have to do it something like this, right? Trying to get something that will actually work better. Yeah, you see that makes it clearer, right? Now, do I actually get the ability to still alter the material properties though? That's what I'm thinking, right? Oh no, I can, right? You can still do everything. So it's kind of interesting. Like, you can apply materials to selections, right? But these scene properties up here are basically limited to, the front, back, and basically you get the front, back, the side, and the bevel as well. You get. So I could do stuff with this, right? And that will give me some more options here. So yeah, what I've basically done is on this glyph 1 here, which obviously broke apart at the beginning from regular text. You can see we've got, these are all, the button's not there basically. Let's move on to a different letter then, and maybe just go through some of the things which I previously did, but I wanted to look into more detail. Let's move on to the O here. All right, so the O is glyph number 2. So just to recall, this is how all the glyphs start out. You get like a bunch of things. It's basically almost exactly the same as. For some reason, it doesn't say front, side, back anymore, which is kind of interesting. But basically, because I haven't delinked them, you can see they're all still linked to each other. So it's basically potentially what you could do. Say you had like a 5-letter word, you could make 2 and 4, you could do those completely unique, and then you could do the other 3 letters all together, or something like that, right? The other thing you could potentially do as well is it's a little bit frustrating because I can't remember like always the order of it, sort of thing. Like which one is which, basically. I think it's basically the side then the front. What I can tell, I think this is the front. Let's see. No, that is a bevel. Interesting. I think if you don't create a bevel as well at the beginning, then it's kind of different. Let's do something a bit more on this side here. Trying to think. Okay, let's remove that. And again, we've got this interior area, which you have to select with this thing, right? And basically, what I was trying to, I don't know if I've explained it in this particular section, but you can't really edit these small sections in the scene menu. All you can really do is just change and have custom materials on them. So I could put, for instance, put the ice back in. Now there is is there a way actually I can sample type? So what does it do with this? Material sample, screen color sample. Okay, sample and apply. So I do want to sample materials. So that's basically what I would use the sample tool for anyway. Screen color is an interesting one. I'm not sure I found a case for that. But let's so we have some custom properties from this. So I sample this. Yeah, that's worked correctly now. Obviously, there's some issues with the lighting. Let's move on to glyph 3 then. One of the issues, of course, is that you can't really do much with your text anymore. That's something that I've noticed, is that once you've got the text, even if we do deselect everything, select the button text, your options are much more limited at this point. You know, I can do stuff like this. Is it not in the box? Maybe, oh, it's because okay. That is a good point as well. I must have accidentally dragged it out of the box, but you'll be okay if I just. All right. So yeah, so one interesting point is that basically you can't do much with the text when you really start to modify it a lot. You can only really do stuff like this. It's not really. I would say it's probably not that helpful. Flattening is interesting. Flattening is an interesting one because I guess that you can potentially selection might be a bit easier in certain cases.